My question is one, fairly simple, probably not easy. How do you remember all the rules, the principles, the laws, and work them every day? It seems like we get caught up in living life, and you get caught up in the whirlwind of everything, and it's hard to remember all the rules and principles. I find myself repeatedly listening to many of your tapes and messages, only to say, well, yeah, I need to do that, and I need to do this, and it's hard to focus and remember them all.
Well, we understand. We feel sorry for anyone who tries to do all of our processes because we are eternal spewers of them. You should hear what we're going to tell you next week. But, fortunately, every process that we spew is for the same purpose. And it's about helping you to use this process in some way to release a little more resistance so that you do a little more allowing. Every single one of them. So when you understand that there aren't that many rules, it's really pretty simple. You're a wonderful being. You are an extension of source energy. When you feel good, alignment is in place. That's the only thing you got to remember. Good feels good, and not so good doesn't feel so good. In other words, that's it. It's not that hard to remember. What makes it complicated is that you all have practiced not liking yourself for so long that it's hard for you to like yourself. In other words, you have complicated it with all of the stuff that you're now having to forget. What we're asking you to remember is you're good, life's supposed to be good, source energy flows to you, and if you weren't doing all of those things you do to keep that from happening, you'd be thriving. We don't think that's so much to remember. So different people hear different things. Esther remembers that when she heard about the focus wheel, it helped her to focus in a more positive way more quickly. Have you heard that one? That's not even on your list, is it? Esther remembers that when we talked about the placemat process, that she felt huge relief from her long list of things to do. It's good for her to get that one out again. Would you remind her in the morning? She's computerized her to-do list again, and it's getting out of hand. The placemat process turns most everything over to the universe except the small little handful of things you intend to do today. And it delegates everything else to the universe so that the universe can start working on it. No, that's not the reason, because the universe is already working on it. But it changes your expectation. It makes you release your struggle over it because you think you've delegated it to someone else. So everything that we offer is just to get you to lighten up a little bit. And different things strike different people in different ways. We've never expected you to remember them all and apply them all. We just encourage you to reach into your bag of tricks and apply anything that feels comfortable to you. Okay. In the new book that Jerry was talking about earlier, we have written 22 processes in the back of the book. And those 22 processes, we have given instructions about how to perform them and expectations about what kind of results to expect from them. But we have also indicated which processes we would encourage you to use given which emotion you're feeling about something. In other words, if you're really frustrated about something, then there are some processes that work better for you than others. If you're utterly overwhelmed with something, then there are some processes that work better than others. So we are hearing you and recognizing that there can be some confusion. But if you want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, no offense to Esther, we're talking about ourselves. We want to say to you, we're all making way too much of all of this. Way, way, way too much of all of this. Life does not need to be complicated.
Keep it simple and feel good.
You have come into this environment expecting to have a glorious time. And if anything has gone wrong or gotten out of balance for humans, it is that you're striving so hard to achieve approval from someone who is not asking for approval or does not have the ability to really give you what you're asking for. In other words, if you're looking for approval from other humans, they might want to approve of you, but they have no reward to give you because you have pleased them. Other than maybe they won't drop a bomb on you if you please them. The reward that you're really looking for, and the only place that any reward can really come, is the reward of alignment with the source that is you. And that source is not asking for you to do anything to please it in order to grant you what you're reaching for. It's offered always, every time, anyway. Mm-hmm. We played with Jerry and Esther recently because they get very busy. They commit to many things. And Esther said, we always commit to them from our place of really being lined up and feeling like we can do anything. And then the time for the manifestation comes about, and then there's more to do than there's physical time to do it. And so we were teasing them a little bit, and we said, now let's see. You are really, really busy to the point of discomfort sometimes so that you can teach others how to live a joyful life. Something a little screwy in that. And so what they're always trying to do is, no matter what's happening, remind themselves that they have the potential for living an utterly joyful life, you see. When you realize that moment by moment, the potential for joy is there, and life is delivering to you endless ways in order to manifest it, then you just can't get it wrong, and you don't need to worry about getting it right because you can't get it wrong. And then you just lighten up and start enjoying the journey. When you embark upon a vacation, you plan for it and you prepare yourself for it and you get ready for it. You save your money and you make your plans. And do you announce to your friends, or do they ask of you, what is it that you hope to achieve on this journey? In other words, what life goals will this vacation fulfill? In other words, you're not going to go get a college degree. And if such a question would come to you, you would find it odd. You would say, hey, I'm just going to have a good time. We just want to go chill out. We just want to relax. We just want to have fun. We just want to get to know each other more. We just want to have a good time. Hopefully we'll see some things that are thrilling to us. Isn't that the way you approach a vacation? And it's that identical mindset that we offer every process about. In other words, every process that we offer is not to give you something else to do so that you'll earn something else. Every process that we offer is so that you can feel that way about this life experience that you're living. We want you to lighten up. We want you to relax. We want you to realize that you're not ever going to get it done. You are an eternally incomplete being who will continue to come forth in physical manifestation. In other words, you're just going to keep coming forth. And it's time for you to stop working so hard to try to achieve the impossible. Oh, I will find my spiritual center, and I will return to the source that is me, a complete person. And we say, no, you won't. You'll croak just like everybody else. You'll be utterly incomplete. You'll reemerge into non-physical, and you'll say, man, was that fun? What a wonderful experience that was. So much potential for so much, and so much specific focus. And ooh, I loved being in that body. I loved being in that body. I loved having all of those vibrational sensors giving me all of that data. And then you'll say, here I go again. Another vacation, another vacation, another vacation, another vacation, another vacation. So what is it that causes you, once you get in these bodies, to take it all so seriously? You line yourself up and you compare yourself to everybody, and you put a grading system on everything. You have this curriculum grading, A, B. In other words, it's joyful in the A's and oh, those E's and F's, oh, dastardly, dastardly. You put a grading system on bodies. Oh, that size of body, we give it an A. That size of body, oh, dastardly, dastardly. In your diversity, which is a good thing, which gives you individual clarity about what you want to prefer and launch, you've gotten so carried away as you, not just you, as you now try to compare everything to everything and evaluate it in terms of rightness or wrongness. And so what happens is the condemnation nature, or the pushing against nature, has become such a big part of human vibration that it has weighed you down and spoils your vacation. And so we would like you, as you spread the good word to those who are around, as you teach the clarity of your example, as you are joyful and others say, what's your secret? You say, I just don't sweat the small stuff. And it turns out it all is. I just don't worry about anything. I don't try to control the world because it's uncontrollable. It's not my job. I don't try to control my wife because she's uncontrollable and it's not my job. I don't try to control my kids because they're uncontrollable and it's not my job. I have released everyone to their own creation, and I'm working on the only thing that matters, which is my vibrational alignment between me and me. And that I can manage, that I can manage joyously, that I can manage easily, and now I'm having a great vacation. And that's what your guidance is trying to teach you. Your guidance system is trying to say to you in every moment. That's what the emotional feedback that you're getting is choose a thought that feels better. Try it. Choose a thought that feels better. Try it. Don't try to jump all the way over here. You can't quantum leap. Just reach for the best feeling thought that you have vibrational access to right now. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss, and we think that was wonderful advice. Only problem with it is, if you're in despair, you don't have a whiff of bliss anywhere around you. And if your only guidance has been to follow your bliss and you're in despair, then you are going to condemn yourself as a failure. And so we would say, well, follow your bliss, but revenge is on the trail. In other words, head for bliss, but enjoy revenge while you're there. Then head for bliss, but enjoy anger while you're there. If you reach for bliss when you're so far from it, you're just going to condemn yourself as a failure, you see. So you just reach for the best feeling thought that you can. And that's what all of the processes say. Just use this tool to try to make yourself feel a little better. And if it doesn't work, then reach for another tool that tries to make yourself feel a little better. And if that doesn't work, every tool or every process isn't right for everybody and where they are. Esther is mostly a very joyful being. And their friend Francine that wrote this wonderful music has sent them another CD with more wonderful music. And the day Esther put it in was a day that she was overwhelmed. It was a day when she had too much to do. And as she listened to Francine's beautiful voice singing about how you create your own reality and how you get to choose the way you feel, Esther said to Jerry, I'm not ready to produce that record. She said, we're too busy. We don't have time. She threw it in a drawer. And she hoped to never see it again. Then they were driving down the freeway, driving across from state to state on their way into Oregon. Esther is driving down the Columbia River Gorge. The road is wide open. Hardly any traffic. The river follows them for miles and miles and miles down these glorious canyons. There were fish jumping and birds flying and children out playing in playgrounds. It was a rapturous moment in time. And Jerry put the music in the CD player. And Esther soared to a place of rapture. She said to Jerry, watch me, I could die on the spot. You might have to grab the wheel. I am feeling so wonderful. I have never felt this wonderful. Same music. So what happened was, Esther was up here already in bliss, put music in that matched it, and she went into orbit. When Esther was in frustration, put the music in, there was irritation from it, you see. And that's why we offer so many processes. Some of them are going to hit you just right. Some of them aren't going to hit you just right. In other words, but if you have the intention to feel good, one of those in that bag of tricks is going to work for you. And what happens is, as you apply them and notice that in applying them, you feel better. And we think this is the most important thing.